Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. I feel stuck in purgatory and I want to move past the betrayal. But he still works with the AP. I'll try to make this as short as possible. My 32F husband, 43M, had an affair with a coworker, 22F. It's as disgusting and cliche as it sounds. He's her boss and she's an insecure trollop. I found out after they had been sneaking around for 10 months. DD was about a year and a half ago. Her and I were in close contact for a couple of months after DD, using each other for info and trauma bonding. She knew he was married, but ended up falling in love with him when he was using her for attention and sex. This girl. She went as far as to never wear face makeup, never wore any scented lotion, perfume or deodorant. Lied for him to begin with, the whole 9 yards. Nothing that could leave a trace. Anyways, after being her fake friend for a few months, I couldn't deal and went off on her. Told her that if she even breathed in my husband's direction about anything other than work that I would seek revenge in the most petty and aggressive way. And blocked her. Prior to this, the girl was even letting me follow her location and insisted she was sorry. But deep down she is who she is, and that's insecure and attention seeking. Just like my husband at the time. She made an inappropriate comment to my husband in work, he told me, and that's when I snapped and threatened her. At some point, she started dating a guy she had known since middle school. Well, last summer he died in a freak car accident. They were arguing on the phone, he was speeding and hydroplaned into a pole and died on the spot from what she told me. Yes, I reached out to her to tell her I was sorry that happened to her. She told me again she was sorry for any pain she's caused me. But I can't believe she was ever sorry because she lied for my husband before, not to mention the fact that she always knew he was married and we had 2 kids. This girl, who also has 2 young children, tried to hijack my life. She saw something she wanted and she aggressively tried to steal it. I could go on, but I was told by many of their coworkers that she was always the aggressor and pursuer. She essentially got to the point after 10 months where she was so open and bold with her actions at work that she knew someone would tell me. And she wanted me to know so I'd leave and she could take my place. I know you need context on my husband and marriage before giving any advice. 9 years ago my husband and I started dating. A month into this, my dad died from cancer, and 2 weeks after that my brother committed suicide. This led to my breakdown, and a month after all of that my roommate kicked me out because she couldn't deal with me anymore. So my husband, then boyfriend, told me to come live with him. He lost his mom to cancer and both he and I have no real extended family to speak of, so we have always leaned heavily on each other. After a year I got pregnant with our son, 7M, a year after that we got married. I have a daughter, 11F, from a brief, stupid marriage I had at 18. She lives with us. Our relationship was never perfect. We both have our own issues stemming from childhood trauma, but for those same reasons we understand each other. About 2 years ago I started feeling like I was losing my husband. He blamed stress at work, so I buried my head in my work and things escalated until it finally all blew up and the truth came out. He had an affair due to communication breakdown, his own insecurities and poor impulse control, and in short, he knows he fucked up royally. We are closer now than we have ever been, but I still get this shit feeling every day he goes to work because I know he spends more waking hours around the AP than he does me, and I just want her gone out of principle and my peace of mind. He works 50 hours a week, 5 days a week in upper management. She's entry level and has worked there a fraction of the time he has. In my mind, if she was really sorry, she would have left because she knows how this situation has literally destroyed who I am as a person, and I feel like I can't completely turn the page until she's not in his life anymore. My husband has offered many times to find a new job. I tell him no because I don't want him to resent me in the future for asking him to do that, especially when it will do harm financially, disrupt our children's lives negatively, and when he worked years to get to where he's at in the company. And he knows he messed this up. Takes ownership, lets me follow his location, calls me every time he puts his ass in his truck to go anywhere, etc. Lets me cry and vent. He's put his job at risk by leaving work midday many times over the last year when I'm having a breakdown. He even sent her home one day when I demanded it because he was the only manager there, which means they would have to work together and she couldn't go to another manager like usual, but I can't shake this feeling almost every day. I go from sadness to anger towards the AP. Yes, I see a therapist and I take anxiety medication. I don't know what to do. I haven't worked since the start of last year. My husband suggested I quit working and just focus on myself and my family. Because I could not function. I lost weight, was messing up every project I worked on, etc. Anyway, you get the gist. How can I talk myself down off of this cliff? I feel like jumping some days, but I feel like it would be so unfair to my kids and even to my husband who's kept his promises to do anything he can to make this right. And I don't think I'd be happier alone or with anyone else. I'm grieving the death of my dream. My whole marriage feels like it was a lie. Edit, the kind of girl we are dealing with is one that used the power imbalance to her favor. Has threatened to get him fired if he didn't treat her how she wanted. She told me this herself. She's also the type that, if he did find a new job, would quit her job now and follow him. She's enjoying making him squirm. It's all the revenge she can get since her initial plan to blow up our marriage didn't work. Here are some of the best comments from our community. I don't see how you are going to get any further in the healing process as long as she is still in the picture. This is the issue. Either he finds another job or she does. If she's not willing to change employment, then, as uncomfortable for everyone as it may be, your husband needs to leave. It doesn't matter what kind of hard work he put in to get into his position. What matters is that when he got there, he messed up big time. You are never going to be okay until she is out of your lives for good. There's a huge imbalance of power in the relationship between your husband and his much younger employee. I'm going to get flack for this, although she holds some responsibility in all this, she's also a victim in a sense. Your husband is 100% not a victim. He holds all the power in that relationship. She really needs to find new employment. Sorry, when you said you contacted her, I thought it was recently. When he gets a different job, he should immediately go to HR and tell them she's stalked him in the past and he's worried that she might try to follow him. Make her sound like more trouble than she's worth. This should hopefully keep her from moving jobs to be with him. Block her on every level. Just because your husband has to work with her doesn't mean she should have access to any part of your private life. She should only have your husband's work extension. There is absolutely no reason for contact outside of work. And you should not be contacting her at all. You're just stirring the pot. Girl, I'm in the same situation as you. Or, very comparable. I feel like we should DM extensively, but I'm barely staying sane, so I try to avoid focusing on it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell.